From the unexplained to the mundane, come join us on a journey to the fringe. Hello and welcome to Journey to the Fringe. You know, the fringe. Maybe where the Venga bus ended up. We are your podcast hosts, caught in early 2000s speculational thought, Taylor and Chelsea, here today talking about a Chelsea episode, which I'm always just hoping I hit with my opener, but I don't know, that one's probably off.
I mean, we're not talking about the Venga bus, if that's what you're going for.
I would really like to know where it is. Is it still partying hard?
They were going somewhere.
They were going.
The bus is coming somewhere. There was a destination in mind. Anyhow, we all know that one of the most well-known Journey to the Fringe facts is that we have the most sophisticated listeners. Am I right? It's a fact.
Yeah. The popes even know it.
Yeah, the popes, that's all they're ever talking about.
Yeah, they're super impressed with your guys' small talk.
And our sophisticated listeners have probably attended so many dinner parties since our last heavy-hitting cryptid episode that they're running short on new and exciting small talk topics. So, I felt it was time to replenish their repertoire with some new dinner party fodder. So, with that being said, number 1. This cryptid goes well with breadsticks, toothpicks that may be impaling some sort of fancy appetizers, olives, cheeses.
Wait, it goes with the toothpick?
It goes with the toothpick.
Or the things on the toothpick?
No, the things with the toothpicks in them.
Okay.
There must be a toothpick, though. Must be. Because this is Stickman.
Okay.
Yeah. The black stickmen are fairly recent in the land of cryptid sightings. They're like the new kid on the block.
Interesting.
They are like the new kid on the block. Kind of. I guess we'll talk about it. You'll learn more about it so that you can be also enlightened to speak to others about it. However,
I'm just waiting for it to turn out Bill Moore created them, because that just seems like half of our episodes these days.
I'm not going to say that there's not a tie in this episode.
Okay.
Because looking back, there's probably one in every episode. Strangely enough, as I just said that they are a fairly recent cryptid in the land of cryptid sightings, they are linked to ancient beings depicted in some cave drawings, which some groups believe are signs of ancient aliens or extra-dimensional travelers. Black stickmen are humanoid beings that resemble stick figure drawings. Have you ever heard of these guys?
Oh, I have, yes. Yes. Sorry, when you said stick, I just had something different in my mind. But yes, I have heard of these.
Like a stick bug cryptid.
I didn't know where it was going to go. I was definitely thinking like pieces of wood, not like stick figure.
Pinocchio.
It always reminds me of there was this little kid in a Halloween costume, and it was just glow sticks to make him look like a stick man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
This is exactly it, except the stickman doesn't glow. Okay, so in addition, black stickmen lack any facial features, whether it be eyes or nose or mouth. So it's like you just drew a stickman with no smiley face and 2 dots.
Wait, so I missed that part. You said it didn't have a face, or it does have a face?
No face.
Okay.
Yeah. And just like most cryptids with man in its name, it cannot be confirmed that the stickman has a penis that would be fitting of the stickman name, just so that we're all on the same page.
So it is
really
literally
stick
like
person.
Yeah, it is literally like the 5-year-old drawing of a stick person.
Yes. Yeah. No penis drawn onto it.
they always keep over asking those questions though, don't they? I have not seen any investigators ask about the cryptid's penis. When you read those accounts. And then the investigator said it got really awkward after that.
If we were doing the interviewing, you best know we would be asking about genitalia so we could nail down for sure whether it's stick man, stick woman, moth woman, moth person.
And the notes are specifically going to be, I asked the person about the stick person's penis. They gave me a weird look. This interview's tone has changed.
And that's why we'll have so many failed interviews. I don't know if I said this yet. These creatures are exactly what they sound like. They look like stickman figures us non-artists draw of people. Specifically non-artists.
You say that, but I had a thing made of wood in my mind.
Okay, yeah, but now I'm clarifying it for you. Stop picturing that. So they're not shadow people. They're literally 2-dimensional black stick persons, and they allegedly possess no shadow And as you would expect from a 7-foot-tall stick person, they're very lean and lanky. They're described as pitch black without any facial or body features, no mouth, no anything that I've already said.
I just have to get this right then, because they're right, black please. Stick men, stick persons.
Yeah.
Stickezens? Anyhow, they have to be seen at day, right? Stickezens. Like stick citizens.
Not necessarily seen during the day. I do have a few eyewitness accounts.
Okay.
So we'll see what time of day.
Okay.
I just got an idea. We should go on Reddit and just start asking people who eyewitness things if they saw a penis. It's very important.
It's important for science.
They're said to vary in height, running from normal human height, which, can vary greatly in itself, all the way up to several feet tall. And their methods of communication are unclear. With that being said, I have seen nothing about them attempting to communicate together. I don't even know if more than one's been seen at the same time.
How could they communicate? So, they don't have a mouth, unless that whole circle's their mouth.
Oh, good point.
But they don't have hands, so they can't do sign language.
Well, maybe someone drew the, little juts out for hands.
Okay.
A lot of things are unclear here, okay? They're also described as buzzing or having an electrical charge to them, too. So kind of like static electricity. And some people claim that they feel lightheaded and a little dizzy when these black stick men are around. They're described as being kind of out of focus and fuzzy, like they aren't quite in our dimension or fully here. I also saw them described as having an effect on the air around them that looks like you see when it's hot outside, or wavy off in the distance. Everything looks like wavy, which is
kind of like they're out of focus.
People think they're hopping dimensions. Yeah,
okay.
Kind of. Or almost like they're standing next to a gas leak.
Yeah. Okay.
When the air is wavy, when the gas is going out.
Are they sighted near gas leaks often?
So, in addition to that, what some people see is almost like heat waves coming off these fuzzy black stickezens. This could be some of your dinner party questions. What do you call a gender-neutral stick man?
Why do they call them stick men if nobody draws the penis?
Exactly. Either start drawing the penis or call them something else.
I want to know how many people take the more bold option on that one.
Okay, so in terms of what they do or what they want when you encounter them, it's not clear. They are either they're wavy. So does that have something to do with what they're up to? I would say. That's one of the things you see every time. Maybe they're working with gas. They're
in cahoots with big gas.
Big gas, yeah. Just hope it's not Big Banana.
Do you think they're at all related to the...
Yet by now? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I listened to it on Spotify yesterday.
So, could they be related to the wavy inflatable guys that dance?
I think we're thinking of wavy in a
different kind of wavy? Okay.
Yes, very different, I think. Yes. They're either just walking by or kind of creeping around, going about their daily business. What the hell is their daily business, even, anyway?
They gotta get drawn somewhere else. They're off to the next kid's paper or something. I don't know.
Yeah, some kid's drawing these here. Maybe this is something to do with simulated reality and someone's just drawing them into our reality.
Yeah, if you did have to do a test, that would be the easiest thing to draw.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the only things I can draw. That and the sun in the corner of the page.
Yeah, and it's got sunglasses on.
Oh, yeah. Some little lines coming out for the rays. And sometimes, if I'm feeling fancy, a cloud next to it.
And Chelsea, yes. Those rays coming out to simulate the heat waviness.
Yeah, for the stick man underneath.
Yeah. I don't know if that's related or not, but...
You were drawing this to recreate the waviness that you see around them when you draw, stink lines?
I guess you would.
So it just looked like they smelled bad.
Wouldn't you just draw them kind of wavy?
Yeah, and then that just messes with the whole thing, because then wouldn't you see them wavy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, this is difficult.
Deep. This is a deep cryptid. Unlike other
deep
paranormal
penis cryptid.
Unlike other paranormal creatures, black stickmen aren't connected to any particular paranormal event other than gas leaks. Rather, they manifest themselves without many prompts, As for where these humanoids, I love that they're called humanoids, came from, there are multiple theories. One theory states that because of their two-dimensional physique, many conclude that they were most likely natives of another dimension. Other theories infer that the black stickmen are actually demonic entities similar to the shadow people. Black stickmen. That sounded ominous.
Hey, can't we just call them stickmen? I feel that, I don't know. It just feels wrong to add that to the beginning in my mind. There's no other stickmen out there. So,
No.
I mean, if another one showed up, we might have to differentiate at that point. But at this point, I think we can just call them stickmen.
I mean, not even man, because that doesn't even seem to be accurate.
Stickezens, right.
Stickezens. They are also theorized to be peaceful entities that aren't aware of their effects on humanity and simply wish to travel. I just feel like this isn't well researched.
Oh man, this investigator was asking way different questions than we would.
Oh yeah, we have way better questions.
We know about their travel methods and wow.
What do you think they were like? What were they doing on their daily business? And like, where were they going? Do you think they just wish to travel?
What were they waiting for the bus?
Airport.
Yeah.
They were at the airport, maybe.
Okay, huh.
Well,
that's
there
just,
are no...
the questions that you have to ask to arrive at that... to be able to write that paragraph down, my God, it's just... I inhabit a different world where I haven't, I guess, talked to somebody who's met a stickesen, so... touche you, investigator.
Well, this is also why I'm giving you this to talk about. Look at how much conversation we just had about this, me and you. Imagine if you were at a dinner party talking about a stickesen. Think about the limitless options here.
Well, and especially if it's
you draw a stick person penis? Do you think they wish to travel? How would you come to that conclusion?
And I think this is actually a really easy segue small talk conversation if you're at a fancy dinner party, because if conversation around top hats ever come up, the only way I've ever drawn a top hat is on top of a stick person.
Well, that is so true. I've never drawn it not even on its own.
No.
I think that's the only accessory I've ever given a stick person.
And that is like, it is just such a natural segue from there. So this is for the fanciest of the dinner parties.
Oh yeah. It might need to become the symbol of dinner parties with its top hat and penis. While there are no confirmed attacks on witnesses by black stickmen, many reported feelings of aggression and agitation from their encounter. Can you imagine having an encounter and just being like, I am so fucking mad I just saw that stick man?
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if they're saying that the person who was there and saw the stick person felt angry and agitated, or if the stick person appeared to feel that way.
Feelings of, well, I'm assuming it's a witness because we have never said that we've interviewed the stickesen. So it's definitely us feeling agitated.
But they have attempted to communicate.
Yeah, because they know that they're traveling.
Yeah.
Or maybe they had one of those like hobo sacks.
Okay, again,
it is fairly simple to draw. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you only draw that with a stick person. It is plausible these creatures emit negative energy from them, or may feed on negative energy, much like astral vampires, which is so weird given the last theory that they're peaceful and just traveling.
They're just traveling. They're traveling. So
there's just energy. Like either or, like either they're like really good or super bad,
and piss you off. They will piss you off.
Yeah, I just talking about it, like pisses me off.
I know my blood's boiling right now.
Also really great for a dinner party. See, I picked this one specifically for reasons. What is difficult about the black stickman? Why? Is that there isn't a ton known about these things. There's a lot of speculation and reported sightings. Big fan of that, by the way, personally. I love speculation, especially when it's wild. I love those two put together.
I feel like 70% of what's been read so far has been wild speculation from people. Yeah. But I can't confirm that.
Okay.
I mean, we've run the gambit of different things they could potentially be doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good, bad, who knows? We don't know. They don't know.
I want to punch them. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah. I wanna.
Could you make contact, or would it go right through that circle if you tried to punch them in the face?
What circle?
Their face circle.
Oh,
Their
yeah,
stupid
you
face
could-
circle.
You think it's hollow?
I don't know.
You gotta punch it in the stick.
Imagine if you punched it so hard you broke it, and then like
Just like
a
snap it.
5-year-old's rendition of what blood looks like comes spewing out. Just like crayon red shooting into the sky.
Snaps in half and then shoots out. Sightings started popping up online in 2009. I knew I put it in here. And it's not me calling it black stick man, by the way. I'm just gonna say it here. I know I didn't just say it, but I'm just gonna... because it comes up shortly again. And gained momentum when the black stick man phenomena were listed on the site Listverse, which I've never heard of. They were you ever heard of
Sounds
this
important.
website?
No. What is Listverse?
They were listed with other... Who even looks at these websites? I've never even heard of it. And I'm always Googling cryptids. They were listed with other phenomena like black-eyed kids, doppelgangers, and the chupacabra. It's listverse.com 2009 0424 top 10 bizarre modern paranormal phenomena. After the black stickmen were discussed in this article, it seemed like it inspired a lot of people to detail their encounters with this entity. Okay, now it's time for my favorite part, Reddit encounters, which I'm also going to make a note of to go follow back up on the genitalia that they may have witnessed. So this one's from user Lil Miss Funshine, and he or she, I've seen one down the upstairs hallway of the Everett Performing Arts Center in Everett, Washington State. It almost looked like it was breaching dimensions or something. Like it wasn't quite our plane, but it was there and it was ominous. Invite presence. At first I thought it was a shadow person or a hat man. I don't know why there is confusion. I mean, I would be like, wow, that's a definite stick man. That's weird that I'm seeing that right now. But it was too tall, and every time I described it to someone, I get this feeling in the back of my mind, almost like I'm being corrected that it's different. It was tall and spindly. Its head wasn't round, but slightly oblong though, almost like it had a top hat or something going on. What? This is just a weird encounter, hence why I thought it was Hat Man, but it was totally stick man-like. Just like 8 or 9 feet tall. I do like that it had a top hat though. It had a slight aura surrounding it, which is why it gave me the impression that it was breaching dimensions. That is the most vague encounter of anything I've ever read, actually, in my life.
Huh. Yeah.
It was like,
mean,
I thought it was a shadow person, but it kind of looked like it had a top hat on. So she doesn't actually say anything about it being
a stick man. Yeah. Just shadow-esque.
It was stick man-like, but I thought it was Hat Man.
Maybe we don't interview her.
Probably not. She doesn't seem to have seen anything.
She doesn't seem to see it below the head level down. Like,
No.
we're gonna get no penis info from her.
Oh no.
That's just gonna get awkward.
User Nightly Thunderstorm. Okay, I was around 7 or 8, in quotes, I'm 15 now, son of a bitch, and I'm staying at my Nana's house in the mountains of Arizona. The room I was in has a huge wall with a singular pane of glass with a sliding door, and at night the light from the living room reflects off the glass to create a pretty good reflection. I was sitting on the couch parallel to the window, and to my left is a hallway. Well, it's around 10 or 11, not sure if it's AM or PM, and everyone is just about heading to bed. When I see in the reflection of the glass a black stick man dart across the hallway, I remember freaking out and never being able to walk the hallway without shutting my eyes. Next one.
Not a lot of
user
detail
deleted.
there. We probably shouldn't talk to them either. That just seems like we're gonna get a call from the police on that one.
No, this whole thing sucks. User deleted. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but this post jolted my memory. I think it was somebody asking for stickmen encounters. So, to set the environment, I live in a pretty small and rural town, and I feel like user delete is not going to let me down. And most of the neighborhoods are somewhat in the woods. Interesting. My high school soccer team was having an end of the season party at one of the players' houses in one of the wooded neighborhoods. Towards the end of the night, someone mentioned a house towards the end of the road past a curve in the road, somewhat cut off by the woods, that a doctor owned but was never there, leaving it somewhat abandoned. We all decided to go check this out and see if it was really abandoned. About 9 of us walked over there through the pitch dark and the house and some small lights on, but no one was home. We go to the backyard where there was just a pool and started looking around. Behind the backyard is just woods and a little bit of woods on the side. It's a big house, so we split up in pairs of 2 or 3 with 2 groups walking around the house and one trying to get inside and on the roof. They weren't that smart. They couldn't get inside or on the roof, so we sat in the backyard just talking about random stuff and joking around, I guess while they're breaking and entering. Then I noticed a sound that was reminiscent of a clacking sound on the roof. It started sounding like someone was walking back and forth on the roof, and I looked up thinking someone made it up, and I see a silhouette of what I thought was one of the kids' faces, but it was pitch black with bright white eyes. Oh my god, this one had eyes.
So it doesn't mean this.
Makes me think you could punch it in the face. My immediate thought. I looked around to see who was missing, but everyone was there. I looked back on the roof and the sound of the thing was gone. I ignore it, thinking it was just a squirrel or something, and continue the conversation. Later, a friend of mine and I decided to go talk on one of the sides of the house, and as soon as we crossed the corner of the house, we thought we hear a deer walking through the trees. We walked closer to get a better look, and we suddenly heard leaves crunching all around us. We start getting a little spooked and turn around to walk back. When we get closer to the house, we hear leaves crunching right behind us and turn around to see a black stick figure standing not 10 feet away, motionless between the swaying trees, staring at us with those same white eyes I saw on the roof earlier. Maybe it was his house. They were breaking and entering.
Yeah. So it's not a traditional stick figure in that the entire face area is filled in and has the eyes.
Doesn't seem to be, and I'm not sure exactly what he's getting at by just the white eyes. Like, are they all white? Or like what? Okay, so they both lose their shit and tell everyone that they're heading back to the other kid's house. Why they're just hanging out at this house beyond me. The entire time we're walking off the property and down the driveway, we feel like somebody's following us and still hear leaves crunching like somebody was right behind us walking. But as soon as we stepped foot off the driveway onto the main road, we felt something like an instant relief and didn't hear any leaves crunching behind us. We didn't turn around one time the entire walk back until we stepped foot into the one kid's yard. Ever since then, I occasionally drive by that house trying to see what I saw that night, and I've only ever seen a pair of white eyes in the window of the house one time. Doctors never returned, and I think I know why. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about how the air around it seemed distorted of sorts, but it was pretty dark at night with no lights around, and we weren't really trying to stay too long to examine the thing. LOL. That's the end of it. That's Stickman. Stickison. That's him.
It.
Are you spooked?
A
Are you
little bit.
scared of encountering a Stickison? I'm intrigued.
If of the cryptids we've talked about, it's probably the one I would most be okay seeing.
I would agree on that one.
And yeah, it seems to.
I don't know though.
They seem to be real short sightings.
I feel like of anything I could see that was a cryptid, that's the one I would question the most if I was seeing things correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready for another one? Next one would go well with like some seafood or anything cold, like a nice bingsu or something. I mean, I haven't seen bingsu at a party yet. Got it. This would be perfect for a first date bingsu and deep sea abominable snowman. They go well together. It also goes by ABSM. Did you catch that? That was such a flawless intro.
Deep sea abominable snowman.
Oh yeah, ABSM.
So
First
they
date
inhabit
with a bingsu.
They inhabit both the highest point on Earth and also the lowest point.
Yes.
Okay.
Of my heart as well. Highest
Okay.
and lowest points.
This one I definitely don't want to run into. I'm guessing mostly because I don't
feel
want to
like
be
the
in
odds-
the deep sea.
I feel like the odds of me ever encountering this are close to 0. And somebody should also tell the owner of Ocean Gate about this. Because I hear they're looking for more reasons to start deep sea diving.
They're doing it. They're going down.
Yeah, they're
again
going
on
down the
anniversary.
hole.
Good for them. The orcas and the ocean require their billionaire sacrifice. So
Yeah,
I'm glad they're
they
doing
need
it.
their blood. Oh yeah. Okay, so the ABSM for short is a sea serpent reported from the Bahamas, and it was sighted. Okay, you're gonna love this. It was sighted and named by diver Bruce Mounier in 1968, and whose account was first published in Charles Berlitz's 1977 Without a Trace. Charles Berlitz has come up for us before, and I believe it was with Bill Moore.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember him, but I'm glad we
pretty
could
sure-
make that reference and continue it on.
Charles Berlitz, I'm pretty sure he was a writer with him. He's come up before. Oh yeah, here we go. The Roswell incident. That's him. So once again, we're tied back to Bill Moore. Anyhow, we were south of Great I. Oh, this is his quote from the book. Maybe I should say that before I start quoting. We were south of Great Isaac Light, near the drop-off. I was looking at the bottom while I was being trolled along on a line behind a 30-foot boat built especially for diving and salvage work. I could see a sandy bottom at 35 to 40 feet. It was deep enough to see ahead of the boat and some sort of round turtle or big fish, about 200 pounds. It became visible and I went lower to get a good look. It turned and looked at me at a 20-degree angle. It had a monkey's face with its head protruding out in front, a much longer neck than a turtle, 4 or more times the length of a human's neck. It rotated its neck like a snake as it watched me. The eyes were like those of a human being, but enlarged. It looked like the face of a monkey with specially adapted eyes for underwater vision. When it got a good look at me, it took off, using some form of propulsion that came from underneath. I've caught and sold hundreds of turtles. This is definitely not one. Why is he doing that? I think it's some unidentified species. It may be a newly developed one or a very old one we haven't seen before. That's the end of that sighting.
I don't know what to say about that. Yeah. And I can't even say. I can't even bring the topic to penis because, like, I don't know what any species basically in the water would look like for genitalia.
No, you know what? I'm not, like, drawn to the penis on this.
No, neither am I. It's weird.
Stickman. For some reason, Stickman. I was just curious whether there was one drawn on or not. Or whether it had those boobs.
No, it definitely didn't have boobs. I would assume, at least. But yeah, monkey. How? Yeah. Huh. Okay. I don't know what to say.
Like what I paired it with? Do you think that's what it would go nice with? Some bingsu? I think bingsu would be the best to bring this on.
If you want to go really fancy, you could go with turtle soup. I don't know how often that's served anymore, but it is fancy French cuisine.
Well, you could. You could just straight up go with just turtle. Turtle on the shell. Apparently delicious.
Oh yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what that guy was involved with, but didn't really want to bring it up
probably the black
much.
Turtle market for sure. He just didn't. He stopped himself. See, I don't have this capacity to stop myself when I start saying something I shouldn't. I always continue with the ending of it. Okay, so next cryptid would go nice with... Okay, I really hate myself. I hate myself for saying this. I'm gonna say this one would go well with like a steak or like a Greek lamb kebab. Or for me, I'd just take a glass of the red wine because I don't eat cute animals. So this cryptid goes by White Thing, but is better known as sheep squatch.
Oh, I think I do know this one. It's one of the Bigfoot variants in the US, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This one hails from one of the most famous cryptid states. To me, at least. I don't know what other state you would call a famous. I call Washington famous.
Is it West Virginia?
Sure. It is.
Okay.
Nice one. Yeah, it's the state you would find Mothman in, which is West Virginia, not Illinois.
Yeah, but again,
moth person. With Illinois.
Yes.
Yeah, moth person. I'm very sorry about that. Again, no penis sightings on moth.
Yeah, it's
that
really
we know
just
about.
When people gender it. So you gotta say, how did you know?
We actually tried Googling moth person plus penis.
I've tried genitals. I've never tried penis.
I mean, like, you can bring up some questionable things. This woolly-haired cryptid has a surprisingly large number of sightings, unlike Dead Sea abominable snowman. Surprisingly, it is described as being a quadruped about the size of a bear with entirely white wool-like fur. It has a long and pointed head, similar to a dog, but with long saber-like teeth and a single pint set of horns, not dissimilar to those found on a young goat, a billy goat. Its forelimbs end in paw-like hands. What the hell does forelimbs mean? Elbows?
Yeah, I think that would be like elbows onwards, wouldn't it?
So it's like a T-Rex arms.
Can you say it again?
Limbs. It's four limbs. Like forearm. Four limbs.
Yeah, but on all four limbs.
Like F-O-R-E.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know what that was.
But like on all four, though, because they're talking about limbs, not just arms.
Yeah. Yeah, all of them would end in paw-like hands. My question here at this point is, do they end at the elbows or the wrists?
That's a weird way to say it. You could just say, instead of feet and hands, it has paws. It's a few more words, but man, does the story get across.
Oh, just wait. Till the next one. Okay, similar to those of a raccoon, but larger. Well, its tail is long and hairless, like that of an opossum. That is creepy. I hate hairless tails.
That is so gross. That. And like, it's completely covered in hair, except for the tail.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, just have a fluffy butt.
Yeah, you really gotta, when you're eating your steak or like nice, I don't know, sheep squatch steak over dinner, you gotta really emphasize the hairless tail. Like,
and for some reason, I'm picturing it like either slimy or wet. Probably moist is the better term for
like,
it.
It is not, I'm not picturing it wet at all, but it's still disturbing.
Yeah, also, Chelsea, this is making me realize that our true path in life is probably to open a cryptid-themed restaurant where we can serve up sheep squatch steaks.
I really had fun pairing the cryptids, actually. I really felt like I paired it or host a cryptid dinner party. I felt like I did a good job. It is reputed, you're gonna like this one. It's reputed to smell like sulfur, which has been attributed through folklore to a beast being born within the TNT area in Mason County, like one of the Mothman theories. Though this is not likely, and instead it may have a musk scent gland similar to those found in the species in order Carnivora, such as weasels and skunks. Okay. So it's just, have you ever thought of that with paranormal creatures before? That
maybe they just smell bad and it's a defense mechanism? Yeah. I've never thought of that.
I've never thought of that either. But here it has been put forth that it is a gland emitting the sulfur.
It's, a gland in their butt.
Yep. That's definitely where the gland is. It could never be any other place.
Actually, no, that's not true. It could be on that slimy tail.
Yeah,
like, just because,
at the butt.
like,
where
near the
butt. Meets the spine in the butt. We got a sighting. We got many sightings because it has so many sightings for some reason. And just with that incredible description of it, I know you want some sightings. 1994. The former Navy seaman said he's witnessed the beast breaking through the forest. The white thing breached the brush line and knelt to drink from the creek. Oh God, I'm just picturing its tail. And stink lines. Here it drank for a few minutes before crossing the creek and continuing on toward the nearby road. The witness stated that he observed the animal for a while before it moved on into the surrounding brush. Didn't do anything terrifying. Within the same year, 2 children observed the creature while playing in their yard within Boone County. What they reported having observed looked like a large white bear, yet in this case stood up on its hind legs, making it over 6 feet tall. Presumably it did so in a manner similar to bears trying to observe, as opposed to walking bipedally. Startled by the children, the beast ran off through the forest, breaking medium-sized limbs off the trees in its path. Not even dodging them, hey? Just running right through the sticks coming off trees.
Maybe that's why it has no hair on its tail.
Jesus. 1995. The creature was next spotted a year later, this time involving a car. A couple driving through Boone County observed a large white beast sitting in a ditch alongside the roadway. What a weird thing for it to be doing. You never see an animal just doing that. As many curious passerbys might do in such a situation, they stop their car to get a better look at it. I mean, have you ever drove through a national park when people see wild animal? It's insane. Everybody's pulled over to the side of the road, taking pictures, offering to pet it, kicking it.
Trying to feed it.
Yeah. They came to describe the creature again as mostly similar to earlier descriptions, yet they added that the creature had 4 eyes. In stark contrast to the last sighting where the sheep squatch fled the scene, the creature leaped out of the ditch and started to attack the car. I'm happy it did that. And by the attack, the couple drove off quickly. And once they arrived back at their home, they noticed large scratches on the side of their car where the beast had attacked it. No photo evidence, of course. I'm gonna hop ahead here and go to 2015. There is one other... fuck it. 1999. Another incident.
Can we take 1 second to say that they're leaving something in this story out where they goaded the sheep squatch on to attack their car?
Oh, they have to be. Okay. Here's what I'm picturing. They're at a garbage dump and they have chocolate bars and they're throwing them onto their car. That's definitely what happened. They're baiting the sheep squatch with chocolate bars. 1999. Can you imagine that scene would have been so much different if it was
A sheep squatch. Yeah.
Another incident in 1999 involved a couple of campers who were in the forest at night, again in Boone County, around a bonfire. They eventually heard an animal snorting and scuffling around the camp in a manner similar to an aggravated bear, but did not come into the light of the campfire immediately. Why would it? Why do people expect wild animals to do that? All of a sudden, the sheep squatch suddenly charged out of the darkness at the campers, reacting quick. I love the sheep squatch now, except its tail. I can't accept the tail.
It doesn't come up a lot, surprisingly. I thought there would be more description of this tail for how.
Same, and the smell.
Yeah,
especially that it got sprayed. It got sprayed in sulfur. Reacting quickly, they jumped up and ran back into their house, all the while being pursued by sheep squatch. Giving chase is a natural reaction of a predator when a creature flees. Its initial attack could have simply been a mock charge. Interesting. The white thing stopped at the edge of the forest when they crossed it and let out a terrible scream. It then turned around and headed back into the woods. The next morning, the campers returned to their campsite and the trail home, finding it to be torn up. They referred to it as like somebody had peeled it up for gardening.
So it just runs straight, regardless of any trees in the way. Is that how they did the Canadian-American border? Did they just let the sheep squatch out and just run straight?
Yeah, I mean, it's better than like manual labor. And
that is manual
are you
labor.
Hearing this? They found it to be torn up like somebody had tilled it up for gardening. Like, what was the sheep squatch doing?
Is it a truffle hunter? Do you think you could take a sheep squatch looking for truffles?
I've never even thought of this. What I'm picturing of sheep squatch right now is that just if you let a kid's imagination run wild. Or like, tell me something terrifying. They're like a bear. They're like, tell me something gross. They're like, a fucking mouse tail. Tell me something else you don't like about animals. Skunks are gross. They spray disgusting smells. And they're like, yeah, we just created a Frankenstein.
And this one's got 4 eyes.
Yeah. Last sighting, 2015, in Falks Run, Virginia, the beast was spotted once again in the forest of Appalachia. Appalachia. I knew there was a weird way to say it. The creature was spotted close to midnight by 6 campers spending the night in the dense woods. The beast was reportedly 8 to 9 feet tall with a shoulder length of 4 to 5 feet. What does that even mean?
So shoulders were 4 feet wide.
Okay.
So it's a fairly broad creature.
Hair.
That's what I was kind of getting ready for.
Me too.
That sounds fabulous, actually.
Yeah. I mean, that takes away from the tail. One of the campers first saw the beast at the top of a nearby hill in a crouching position. And it stood up and he alerted other campers. Sheep squatch or the other camper?
I think the camper informed other campers of the sheep squatch.
Yeah.
I think that's the most reasonable interpretation there.
I'm starting to think he's like just a stupid guy, the sheep squatch. Then it started running down the steep... He's not watching out for branches. He just runs right
I'm just gonna run straight.
He doesn't care. He's just a big oaf. They looked in horror as it searched for a way to cross, and with no... Did I tell you that there's a river? Okay, there's a river. They looked in horror as it searched for a way to cross, and with no other option began to wade through the river. I love it that he was making this decision, whether or not to cross the river.
I just picture him running up, throwing trees left and right, straight ahead, until he hits the river.
I wonder if he's ever just taken a street straight out because it was in his way and he couldn't veer over.
No, I'd get him wet.
Yeah, it came out of the water and the campers reported that it appeared like a bipedal dog in the chest, with its fur wet from the river crossing. In the chest. Okay. An loud gut-based screech was heard about 2 miles off from where they were. Then the sheep squash looked up in shock, just high enough so the moonlight was in its face, and the campers looked on in fear as it let out a pathetic whimper. Then, in a sprint, ran in the opposite direction of the noise. The campers quickly packed and left, then reported it to the locals, fearing that if the authorities were informed, they would be ridiculed. The identity of the campers is unknown as of March 2016.
Are they trying to imply that the sheep squatch took these these guys out?
I hope so, but I think it's more because they're scared they'll be ridiculed that they saw the sheep squatch.
It could be that, but they also, like, it's a weird time after the event took place where there haven't been seen.
That whole encounter is weird. Most of the encounters with sheep squatch are rather weird. And that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed my pairings for these cryptids, and I hope that when you try them out, report back to us and let us know. Sorry, you're never gonna find sheep squatch to report this back to, whether he went nice with like a lamb kebab or just a glass of wine because there was no other vegetarian options. So you just had the wine, and yeah.
As sheep squatch himself would do.
Yeah, some further fodder for you to make pleasant conversation with at dinner parties.
Yeah, and please let us know which cryptid you think would be the most delicious. Because I think that's just a natural question that now needs to be answered based on the tools we've given you.
Already know mine. Vegetable man.
I probably got a top 3 pretty easy.
Vegetable man. I don't know that I'd be eating anything else.
Well,
no.
Deep sea abominable snowman.
No, I was just going to say deep sea abominable snowman.
You can eat.
I'm pretty sure I could eat. Yeah. I would eat them.
I think you could eat a stick man.
Want to, though.
I think you can eat a stick man.
Yeah, I don't feel like... Maybe? Yeah, you can eat a stick man. Anyhow, that's not for us to ponder right now. Well, it is us right now.
Yeah.
Not for you, maybe. You should be pondering at the party.
You should be pondering this, yes. Yeah. With other people, aloud, having a good time. Clearly not killing the vibes of whatever setting you're in. Just adding flavor to it. Like the spice that is stickezens. Anyhow, I have been Taylor, here with Chelsea. We are Journey to the Fringe. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Journey to the Fringe. If you have liked what you have listened to, please like, share, subscribe, or follow, depending on what venue you are listening to us through. Also, please, if possible, leave a 5-star review, as that really helps us in the algorithms. Should you wish to interact with us, please check us out on your social media of choice. I bet you we are there. And if you really want to communicate with us and give us ideas for new episodes, or tell us that we're wrong and terrible, either way, please send us an email at journeytothefringe@gmail.com. For now, I'll see you in the next episode.